Believe that Thanksgiving is just around the corner. I feel like it was just Halloween, although that's kind of how the holidays work here, especially in the US, right? It was Halloween and all of a sudden it's Thanksgiving and then you're fast tracking to Christmas and boom, then there's a whole nother year upon us. But let's put on the brakes, right? Before we get to that, I am one of those moms that loves Thanksgiving, and I want to make sure we don't completely skip over it and go right into Christmas. Although you better believe I am already rocking all my Christmas albums on Spotify. So I know besides getting in the Christmas spirit, I know that many of us as moms are already envisioning a kitchen filled with delicious aromas, the laughter of our little ones, and yeah, also maybe a touch of chaos, right? Well, as we gear up for this gratitude-filled feast, I want to make sure that your prep is a total breeze. Hey, moms of the Energized Mama podcast, I have a question for you. Ever catch yourself daydreaming about a Thanksgiving where you're not juggling 100 things all at once? Are you wondering if it's possible to whip up a feast without losing your sanity? Well, you're in for a treat today because I'm doing something a little bit different on the podcast. I'm kind of making a prog or a blogcast, meaning something that you would normally find on a blog, I'm bringing to the podcast today. I know if you're like me, you've got your headphones in, you're probably in the carpool lane, maybe at your kid's preschool drop off, but wherever you're at, I'm in your ears right now, and I want to make this as simple as possible. We're today going to dive into 5 mouth-watering dishes that are truly tailor-made for moms like you. Busy, on the go, overwhelmed. That's right, they're for you. So I've got a question for you. How amazing would it be to trade the Thanksgiving stress for moments of joy with your loved ones? Yes, even your littles, right? Intrigued maybe just a little bit? Well, that's why I want you to stick around, give me a few minutes of your time today, and I'm going to simplify your Thanksgiving prep in the most delicious, yes, lip-smacking way possible. Be sure to open up the notes on your phone too, because we're going to dive into the recipes so that you can make a simple get ready for Thanksgiving list that is going to de-stressify this holiday. Let's do it. Hey mama, welcome to the Energized Mama podcast, the podcast designed exclusively for moms navigating the challenging yet pivotal years of parenting children aged 5 and under. Are you longing to raise good, godly kids, all while preserving your own well-being and energy? Do you find yourself thinking, how can I keep up with my little ones, or how can I raise them to be loving and godly? I'm Cheyanne, and I've walked exactly in your shoes. Honestly, on some days, I'm still there. I know what it's like to face the daily demands of motherhood and wish for more energy to be the loving, godly mom I aspire to be. I've been there with a strong-willed toddler and a desire to balance being a devoted wife, a mom, a stepmom, and an entrepreneur. I'm here to tell you that it is possible to raise your children with strong values and boundless love, all while nurturing your own energy and well-being. In this podcast, you'll find valuable insights on managing your time and boosting your vitality. You'll gain practical tips for disciplining your children with grace and wisdom. And you'll join me in the journey of raising your kids to be good, godly individuals. My mission is to help you thrive as a mom while experiencing the joy of watching your children grow in faith and character. We'll explore how you can maintain your energy because the most godly, loving mom is the one who takes care of herself too. So go ahead, mama, grab those headphones, pour yourself that refreshing green smoothie, and get ready to be #momspired, because rest assured, you're no longer alone on this incredible journey of motherhood. So is this podcast as funny as it is for you as it is me? I almost didn't do it because I was like, well, wait a second. Shouldn't I just write a blog about this and just list a bunch of these recipes, so the moms can just read it and then go get on with it and actually just do it? Well, I know how valuable it can be to have someone kind of talk you through something, and recipes can awfully sometimes find to be very overwhelming. I feel like I love me some Pinterest, but there are times I go and I'm just like, man, this recipe looks way too complex, or it looks way too hard. So consider me kind of like half chef, half coach right now. Like, I'm going to be your life coach right now and explain and break down the 5 simple dishes and emphasize what goes well together, why why it's important, why it's like a good dish that I would recommend, and why it's a healthy and really easy choice for you and your family. So I know that when you're dealing with littles, sometimes you can have really picky eaters. So of course, that's my goal, to help you get around that too. In fact, I actually am about ready to drop one of my brand new online digital products. It's an ebook that I've been developing that doubles as a cookbook for your kids and a devotional. I know if you're a busy Christian mom just like me, that it can feel overwhelming how to, one, fuel our babies' bodies well, right? These littles, they're picky, they're all over the place with their food, and you want to teach them good, healthy, eating habits, but then also soul habits, right? Like how to fuel their soul, right? Like infuse Christian principles and Jesus into their everyday life. And it can really feel like just one more thing you have on your plate. So that's why I created my cookbook that doubles as a devotional, where every recipe is going to have a simple, easy, and I must emphasize healthy and yummy recipe that will also have named after a Bible character and a Bible story. And at the end of these recipes, there's going to be 1 to 2 prompting questions that helps your kids go a little bit deeper. It helps them think about the food that they're eating and consuming, but also about the Bible character, and help you give a very easy talking point that is perfectly suited for your child. I wrote this book with a child ages 3 to 6 in mind. I have one of those children right now myself. I was a nanny for 10 years when I was in Los Angeles. So I've spent a lot of time around littles, and I've developed an understanding of how they think and how they see the world. And so I wanted to break it down, make it easy for you so that you can feed them well for their body and their spirit. And this book's going to make it super easy for you. So I'm giving you a little bit of a exclusive because the book is not out yet, but if you're interested, you can actually go ahead and get on the list to pre-order it in the show notes below. It's debuting on Black Friday, so just about 2.5 weeks away, right? So that's obviously why I'm also doing this episode, because I know that means Thanksgiving is also about 2.5 weeks away. So again, if you're interested in that book, please go ahead, go to the show notes and go ahead and sign up. You can also come check out some of the recipes I've been starting to put as reels on my Instagram, on my social media, on TikTok. So you can come find me at The Energized Mama, energize.mama.com. So anyways, here we go. Let's dive into why you're here. So first and foremost, I was like, we got to just start with the whole enchilada, right? There's really no Thanksgiving without turkey. And even in our household, and we actually have a vegetarian, we do still cook turkey and put it on our menu. So today I'm going to share with you about an herb roasted turkey breast. So all of the recipes that I'm going to talk about today, by the way, you can actually find in the notes below as well, with the exact measurements and what the ingredients are. So if you want to create a grocery list, you can find that below. So first, let's talk about the turkey, okay? Sometimes with turkey, it can really, really feel overwhelming. But why this recipe is so great is because I emphasize doing a bone-in turkey breast. It makes everything just so much simpler versus trying to get a turkey breast that is boneless, and then you got to cook it longer, or you got to watch it longer and make sure it doesn't dry out, where a bone-in turkey breast makes that a lot easier. And because this is really a simple recipe, sometimes less really is more, right? My 3 different ingredients for this turkey breast are basically just your basic seasoning, your fresh herbs, and your olive oil. Like, that's it. If you want to go over the top, if you want to go overboard, go for it. But again, because I know you're busy, I created the recipe to make sure that it was including herbs that most moms in most kitchens probably already have, because I want you to have an ease in this preparation. And it is a reduced cooking time when you have this size of a turkey breast and when you just have the turkey breast itself. So that's also nice when you're busy and you're running around and maybe you're trying to multitask or prep food to bring with you to a family dinner. Then it's just easy to do that, obviously, since this will take so much less time. Preparing the turkey the way that this recipe follows, it actually only takes about 20 minutes per pound, as opposed to an average of more 40 minutes per pound of a regular turkey. So turkey, herb roasted turkey breast, go for it. Enjoy it, salivate it, take pictures, send it to me. I want to see these creations. I want to see what you come up with. Just make sure that before you actually slice and dice it and get ready to eat it, that you want to make sure that you let it rest, meaning, we are in our optimal best health or best, juiciness, is that weird to say, our best selves when we rest, literally. So think of that with your turkey, is once it's done cooking, let it rest, and then when you slice it, that's when you're going to have the optimal juiciness. All right, so now that we've got the main dish taken care of, you can check that off your list. Now let's talk about some of the side dishes, right? So the next 3 recipes, and there's only 5 I have for you today. So the next 3 are all going to be about side dishes. And what's really great is no matter what kind of eater you have in your home. So obviously the picky eaters, or if you have someone who is vegetarian or is vegan, there is something for each of them here. I actually believe, now, don't quote me on this, but I believe this next recipe is actually quite keto approved. So if you have a family member who is keto, I believe this next recipe is for them. So second recipe on this list is the garlic mashed cauliflower. So realize I did not say potatoes. Now this is just instantly going to be a healthier alternative to your traditional mashed potatoes. Cauliflower has a lot less carbohydrates. It has a lot less calories, and also sometimes depending on how you're prepping the potatoes, we know that there's a lot of instant varieties out there, and the more you go to something that's boxed and not the real thing, the more you're going to have more preservatives and things like that. Now, I know in my household, I have a few men that are really, really skeptical when it comes to replacing any of a typical dish with a vegetable, even though potatoes are vegetables, right? But we know cauliflower is not no potato. And so remember, I married a Belgian too, and they are really serious about their potato products with their purees and especially their frietjes, which are fries. So one big question I get when people ask me about using cauliflower for replacements, especially when it comes to mashed potatoes, is, but how do you make it creamy, right? Like, how do you make it creamier so that it's moist and it's yummy and you don't feel like, ugh, I can so tell this is cauliflower? Well, that's why in the recipe you'll see below is that I've emphasized that you want to add cream cheese. That's going to instantly boost the flavor and the creaminess. And 2 other products that I believe are really essential to make this really, really healthy and really yummy is you want to add almond milk. That's my preference. You can use a lot of different nut milks, but almond milk has one of the least harsh flavors to mix with then cream cheese, and then also the other ingredient of grass-fed butter. So grass-fed is really my favorite. I've really seen such a difference in my life actually since switching to grass-fed butter. I'm one of those girls that started trying to put butter in my coffee, and I have to say, it is quite amazing. So I totally approve of putting it in the garlic mashed cauliflower. Of course, don't forget about your garlic. That is so dang good. And you are going to experience a yummy, yummy creation that is so creamy in texture and has a really, really rich flavor. And what's really great is cauliflower tends to also cook a lot faster than your traditional potato. So again, if you're in a bind, especially for time, I couldn't emphasize these ones enough. So the next side dish that I'm going to emphasize is actually more of not necessarily a dish, but more of a topping, which is great because it's a healthy option and it's very yummy and very, very flavorful. And it's homemade, so it's something you can kind of, maybe, wipe your shoulders off a little bit. Be proud if you're having a Thanksgiving dinner with family that you're bringing something homemade. So it's very simple, and it's basically your typical cranberry sauce. Now, what's amazing about this is cranberry sauce happens to be one of those dishes or those dressings at Thanksgiving dinner that people look forward to, but they also feel like they're cheating because you just can taste all the sugar, right? Such high sugar. But because in this recipe, you're using fresh ingredients like cranberries and orange juice and orange zest together, you're actually lowering the sugar content because you're using the pure food. And of course, pure is always better. Like even when you have fruit that has higher calories, higher fructose, sugar, or higher carbohydrates, it is the best way to use that sweetness or to sweeten something with the real thing, right? And by adding the orange juice, you're going to make it really nice and sweet and tangy. That's going to complement so many of the other dishes in your Thanksgiving, repertoire, especially if you're having a lot of, like, say, salty food. This is going to be great to have something that's a little more versatile that you can use on several dishes. And it may even be something that you get people asking you for the recipe for at the Thanksgiving dinner table, because it's something that is very yummy, but something that you can also use in a lot of other ways, and you can use beyond the Thanksgiving table. Now we're here to the last side dish, and this is green bean almondine. That one's just really fun to say, right? Let's say it together. Ready? Green bean almondine. I'm probably saying it totally wrong, although I feel in American with the bean, you gotta say it almondine, right? When I read it with my Dutch knowledge, I want to say almondina. But anyways, what's it all about? So it takes a great deal of green beans. You want to at least get a pound, and then you use a little bit of the almonds, a little bit of grass-fed butter, and that's pretty much it. And then you could salt and pepper them to your taste, to your liking. What I really tried to do with these recipes is get ones that had very simple ingredients, or ingredients that you can use a few times over. For instance, like your grass-fed butter. We just talked about that in the recipe above for the garlic mashed cauliflower potatoes, and I think that's so important, because when you are a family, you've got young kids, and especially those of you that have multiple children, it's like you got to be budget mindful, budget friendly. So, and we know that unfortunately a lot of times nowadays, the better ingredients, the more quality ingredients you get, the more expensive it is. So again, I want you to get more bang for your buck, and so that you can just purchase a handful of items and use them for several of your dishes. So again, just want to emphasize how, this can add a elegant addition to the Thanksgiving meal. Like these can actually be really, really beautiful on your Thanksgiving dinner. If you think about it, there's a lot of browns and orange tones on your dinner table when it comes to your Thanksgiving meal, but this pop of green is going to look really good, and it's going to taste really, really good. Very nutty and very, very rich, and it's really actually quick to assemble. It's one of those, like, you really do literally get more bang for your buck even just in the preparation, because it takes really, really quick time to steam your fresh green beans, or even if you get them in a can or something, a lot of them are already pre-cooked already. So imagine just putting them on the stove like that, and then you just sprinkle them with the almonds, and just again, that green and that brown is just gonna pop, and it's gonna really give you great visual appeal. Can you believe that it's already November? It's been a whirlwind of keeping up with the little ones, hasn't it? I mean, there's Halloween, and then there's Christmas coming, but you know what? Let's just get real for a moment. Motherhood can sometimes feel like an emotional roller coaster, right? Up and down, up and down. And I just want you to know you're not alone in this. But do you ever find yourself thinking that you wish there was a way to reclaim your vitality? I mean, gosh, we've all been there, right? Feeling emotionally drained and overwhelmed, just juggling countless responsibilities. Do you ever wish there was a way to revive your energy? Like, imagine actually having ample energy, not just for your kids, but for yourself and your husband and just every aspect of life. Do you ever wish there was a way to rediscover you, yourself, the woman that you are, right? It's time to reignite the dreams you had before motherhood and rediscover you amidst all this chaos. I've actually walked in your shoes, and I know exactly how it feels. I know exactly how it feels to crave more. Life Mama is calling for you to pursue more than just being a mom. Your dreams are worth chasing. I know what it feels like to battle overwhelm, that constant stress, the uncertainty of where to start. It's time to break free from this cycle. And I know what it feels like to struggle with embracing healthy habits. Sometimes it's just really tough to know what the heck one's to do and when and where and why. I want you to stop being in the dark about which habits genuinely make a difference to your energy and well-being. And it's time, Mama, to create a realistic plan. No more wandering aimlessly, because you deserve a strategic, sustainable blueprint designed just for you, by you. It's time to reignite that unshakable energy, that one that you can have all the time. You can be that vibrant mama, full of energy, while also taking care of your little ones. I want you to just take a moment with me. Picture this. What if you woke up each day? What if you woke up today, not just surviving, but thriving with a good dose of energy to spare? What if date nights with your husband became a regular, cherished ritual and not just rare occasions? What if, quote, me time was no longer a distant memory, but actually an integral part of your everyday life? And what if you had a straightforward, tailor-made plan that reignited your energy and allowed you to be that vibrant mama that you long to be, all while still giving your kids the love and care they deserve? That is the essence. That is the core of the Energized Mama method, your personalized roadmap to reclaim your life from the chaos and infuse attainable, real-world, realistic energy into your daily routine. Here's what I promise to teach you. I promise to teach you to manage stress and ignite energy. You're going to discover practical strategies together to reduce stress and elevate your energy realistically. You'll embrace a super simple, personalized plan that nurtures new energy boosting habits without compromising your precious time with your kids or demanding monumental commitments, right? We've all been there. You'll walk away with crystal clear vision, no more confusion, and you'll know precisely where to focus your energy. You'll also have an achievable blueprint. You're going to have a roadmap to change with you while you're looking to be more clear, and that actually shows you it's in reach. You'll have unwavering confidence. You'll possess the self-assurance needed to make long-lasting transformations. So, Mama, if you're finally ready just to bid farewell to overwhelm, imagine waking up and not feeling weighed down by the day ahead, to recharge throughout the day, rejuvenate yourself and have the energy to spare for every moment, to retire that night feeling satisfied, going to bed feeling fulfilled, even as a busy mom of little ones. Now's the moment to take that leap. And here why it's important and urgent. Throughout November, I'm offering an exclusive deal. You get 10% off of the Energized Mama method, and that's not all. You'll also receive 3 bonus trainings that I've recorded with experts in all different areas of how to raise littles good and godly, and also that's going to supercharge your journey. But here's the catch. This offer is available only until December 1st. So perfect time for Christmas. After that, it's gone, and you'll miss out on the chance to transform your life right here, right now. Don't let the chaos of motherhood overwhelm you any longer. Reclaim your identity, revive your energy, and experience a life beyond just being a mom. Are you ready to say yes to yourself and no to missing out? Okay, don't wait. Head over to energyformoms.com and secure your exclusive offer today before it vanishes on December 1st. The time is now. Go to energyformoms.com and let's embark on this transformative journey together, Mama. Now, here we are, Mama. You've made it to dessert. This is the 5th and final easy to make Thanksgiving dish that I have for you today. So, of course, we couldn't forget about one of my favorite Thanksgiving dishes, which is pumpkin pie. But today we're making it, again, as I try to do on this podcast all the time, a little bit healthier and a little bit simpler for my busy moms of littles. And so instead of making a whole pie that usually takes a lot more ingredients and a lot more work, we are going to make pumpkin pie parfaits. So just think about like those Greek yogurt parfaits that you see that are like in little cups, and you've got Greek yogurt, some granola sprinkled on top, some fruit, boom, you're done. It's a very similar process in how I want you to prep and prepare and to think about these pumpkin pie parfaits. So it only takes 5 ingredients. You're going to have your pumpkin puree, your instant vanilla pudding. That is something that, you know what, is make it or break it. You don't have to have that, but it does add a much more smooth and yummy, and with that vanilla especially, and just the texture more of like a pudding when you add it to the pumpkin puree. I do want to add, if you don't want to do the instant vanilla pudding, because I know again that it's not always the best ingredients or it's hard to find a healthier one, you can also always just add stevia to your pumpkin puree. Maybe even put it in a blender so it mixes well. So it's still just going to be pure pumpkin, but it will have that sweeter texture, taste, and a little bit different texture that you're looking for that you would normally get in an instant vanilla pudding. So back to the ingredients. So after the instant vanilla pudding is you also want to have some pumpkin pie spice, of course, or you can always replace that simply with just cinnamon, and then have some lower carb whipped cream. And for an extra bonus, it is optional, but it will really, really pack a yummy punch, is having the crushed graham crackers. So in Belgium, we would have speculoos, which is like a graham cracker. It's got that cinnamony, nutmeggy, yummy, yummy, yummy. Anyone listening to me from that part of the world will totally know what I'm talking about. So what's great is you mix almost all the ingredients together, right? And you can get really creative or really simple here. So you can either just get the mixture, like basically mix the pumpkin puree and the pumpkin spice together, and then you can just have that be in these, you want to prep them in these little cups, and then you just sprinkle the graham crackers and whipped cream on top, and done. If you want to make it a little more, aesthetic, a little more, popping to the eye, you can layer it like a parfait, right? So you can put a little bit of the pumpkin puree, and then the vanilla pudding, and then pumpkin puree, and then the pudding, and work it all the way up to the top. And then that's when you would put the whipped cream in there and the crushed graham crackers on top, and boom, right? Like, I'm telling you, all these recipes have sounded really yummy, but right now my sweet tooth is activating because I want to go make these right now. Maybe I should add this to my cookbook and devotional I just made. So, but anyways, there you have it. Those are the 5 simple and easy to make Thanksgiving dishes, especially for you busy moms. I am so excited to hear what you guys think. Don't forget that if you are curious about any of these recipes, please go to the show notes below. I'm going to have each and every recipe listed there with not just the ingredients, but also the directions of how to pull it all together. And of course, as always, I love hearing from you guys. If you have a question about any of the recipes, if you want to know maybe some replacements, like if you want to make it even healthier, or if you'd like to make it maybe not so healthy, I'm here. I want you guys to reach out, to interact, to talk with me. So you can always find me on any social website at The Energized Mama. You can also come ahead and just go ahead and email me, Cheyanne at theenergizedmama.com. I love to talk with my podcast audience. You guys are literally what make this show. I love to hear feedback, and I love to hear how I can make it even better and feature content and episodes that really matter to you, because that's what I'm all about. We are in the trenches sometimes as moms of littles, and it can feel really isolating and alone, and like we literally are fighting a war. So I want to combat that. I want to be here to support you, and that's also why I created my free exclusive community on Facebook, where we can get real and we can be raw, and we can also have a whole lot of fun. And so if you need a supportive group of women that you can meet up with any hour of the day, I'm telling you, whether you're up breastfeeding in the middle of the night or you've got just a lull moment in between naps in the middle of the day, we are there for you. And I would love for you to come join us. All you got to do is go to your webpage and type in momnationcommunity.com. That's momnationcommunity.com. That'll lead you right over to the page, and we can't wait to just hang out together, just like we're doing here, right? So anyway, mama, have an absolutely amazing day. I hope that you feel encouraged and more ready to tackle Thanksgiving this year. If there's any way I can help you, always reach out, and just know that these dishes are designed to be simple and quick, perfect for you as a busy mom as you prepare for Thanksgiving and beyond. And just know that we appreciate you, we see you, and you are so awesome. So until next time, see you in another episode of the Energized Mama podcast.